John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello, my name is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert. I have spent almost 30 years in the credit reporting and credit scoring and credit industry. I spent time at FICO, which is the credit scoring company, and Equifax, which is one of the credit reporting agencies. And in this vlog, I'm going to discuss balances. And the reason I'm going to discuss balances is because there are a variety of dollar figures that can appear on your credit reports. Some of them are meaningful, some of them are not meaningful. So I'm going to explain what these balances are intended to designate or represent, and then we can talk about their influence on credit scoring if there is any. So before we get started, I need to identify an issue that comes up often with balances. One is that some credit reports, those that are provided to consumers, those are called disclosures, may contain information about balances or references to balances that don't necessarily show up on the credit reports that are provided to lenders. So there's two different styles of credit reports, those provided to lenders and those provided to consumers. And while the information is obviously very redundant and similar, it is absolutely not going to be identical. So we're going to identify which of these balances actually show up on consumer credit reports that are used in the credit scoring process, and then some of the balance references that do not appear on credit reports, except for the ones that are provided to consumers, those disclosure credit reports. So number one, current balance. This balance or this dollar figure is meant to represent the balance of whatever account it is that you have, whether it's a mortgage or a credit card or an auto loan, as of the most recent update of the particular trade line. It is not meant, especially in the credit card world, it is not a real-time value, meaning that the balance that appears on your credit report as the current balance may not actually be your balance as of right now. So if you were to pull your credit report today, the balance would be what it likely was in your most previous statement. But if you were to log into your credit card account, your balance is probably going to be different because you've either made payments, you've had credits applied to the account, you may have bought more stuff, and so your balance may be higher or lower than what actually appears on your credit report. So the current balance is only just the most recent update, and it's usually based on the most recent statement. Next, past due balances. Hopefully you don't have any of these, and so the next minute or so is going to be nothing but for just entertainment value for you. But if you did go delinquent on a particular account and you currently are delinquent or recently delinquent as of the most recent update or the date of account information, as it is on some of the credit reports, that past due balance is going to represent whatever amount it is that you owe to the lender, all right? Past due balances obviously are considered to be negative in credit scoring systems, so you don't want any of that information on your credit report. Balances themselves are not necessarily considered negative. Obviously, if you have too high of a balance relative to your credit limit on credit cards, that can be problematic for your credit scores. But balances themselves, just the dollar amount or the fact that you have a balance on something, that is not considered to be a negative entry. It's just representing the amount that you currently owe to the creditor. Historic balances. So if you've pulled your credit reports lately in the past probably decade or so, you may have noticed that some of the accounts have a 24-month or up to 24-month chronology of your balance, the minimum monthly amount due, and then the amount that you actually paid. This is called trended data or time series data, but instead of using the industry jargon like that, let's just call those historic balances or balances and information about your accounts over the past 24 months. This is not your payment history. That's a completely different category that we'll get to in a different video. This is just information about your balances and your payments. This information is not relevant in credit scoring systems that predate VantageScore 4.0 or FICO 10T. But in those two models, FICO 10T and VantageScore 4.0, this historical information is considered, all right? But in the scoring systems that predate these, FICO 9, FICO 8, VantageScore 1, 2, and 3, this trended data is not considered in the scoring process. Recent balance. This is a field that commonly shows up on the disclosure style credit reports that are provided to consumers when they go to like the .coms and stuff and want to pull their credit reports just to see them from time to time. I can assure you in real credit reporting, there is no such thing as a recent balance. I mean, what does that even mean? Recent as of when? Yesterday, a year ago, 6 months ago? There's really no context associated with recent balance. So while this field may show up on the disclosure style credit reports that you're pulling off of websites, it is not showing up on reports that are provided to lenders, and there is no recent balance field considered in credit scoring systems. The last one I'm going to talk about isn't necessarily a balance per se, but it is a dollar value, and I think it's important to kind of, you got to talk about it, right? And so this seemed to be the most logical place to put this in the kind of the discussion of balances, and that is the scheduled monthly payment. The scheduled monthly payment is an actual credit reporting field under the credit reporting language, which is called, I'm sure some of you know this, Metro 2. In the Metro 2 credit reporting language, there is a field called the scheduled monthly payment. If you have a car loan, for example, and your loan is $500 a month for 48 months, which is, that's kind of an installment loan and how auto loans are generally structured, then you are going to have a scheduled monthly payment that is the amount that you owe your lender every month. And so let's just say hypothetically that is $500. And so you would see on your credit report the scheduled monthly payment field with $500. It could be whatever your minimum payment was on your most recent credit card statement. It would be whatever the monthly payment requirement is on your mortgage loan. Once your account is paid off and closed, for example, once you get done paying off your car loan, or if you sell your house and you don't owe them any more money, most of the time this value or field is updated to show zero because you do not have a scheduled monthly payment any longer. Sometimes the lender leaves a value in that field, and that would just represent what your payment was when the account was still opened. This particular field is not considered in credit scoring systems. It is not. Even though it's on a credit report, credit scoring models do not see it. So just because you have a value in this particular field, it doesn't mean that that's somehow harming your credit score. And conversely, because what's good for the goose, if you have a zero value in this field, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's helping your credit score. Current balance is considered in credit scoring systems. Past due balance is considered in credit scoring system. The trended or historical balances, yes, in FICO 10T and Vantage Score 4. Recent balance, no, because there is no such thing in the Metro 2 credit reporting language. Scheduled monthly payment, no, because it's not a scored value in credit scoring models. So hopefully you learned something today about balances and what they're meant to represent. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. We will talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.